to understand how to promote a business, a product, or a service, how to drive revenue or leads from the internet marketing using internet, right? Right. So, since we are promoting the products on the internet, it's crucial or important to understand how internet works. Correct? Which are those platforms on the internet that helps us to promote our product or services and reap as much possible, reap maximum revenue or sales whatsoever it is as much possible, right? And in order to reap as much possible, so it's important to understand what is this internet, the web technologies, about the websites, how the websites are built, and different marketing platforms, how they function, how they work. And along with that, we have to also learn or understand the marketing basics. Without marketing and selling knowledge, you won't be able to sell the product effectively, right? And in the process, we started learning the terminologies like internet, intranet, server, hosting, web server, local server, correct? And browsers, search engines, marketing platforms, and we also understood how to build the websites, the ideal default way of building the websites. We understood websites are built using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and backend of the website is built using one of the programming language. And we also need database. One of the programming languages here, PHP, .NET, Python, correct? Something like that, Java. And database is also needed if you are building a dynamic website. And we also understood it's difficult to build a website by learning these programming languages or investing that much by hiring a developer to do all of that, right? And we learned easy way of building a website, that is using the open source software, that is open source content management system, that is WordPress. There are many such softwares or tools like WordPress, that is Magento, Drupal. There are many such platforms, softwares, correct? Are you all following me? And using that application, so we also learned how to build the websites using AI, correct? We also understood building the websites using the builders, the web page builders. Some of the web page builders available, freely available web page builders, and we also have explored some paid web page builders, right? And now we are capable of building the websites. And next step that we learned is how do we promote these websites now, how do we get business by promoting these websites. And that's when we got started, and that's when we understood various platforms like search engines, social media platforms, email marketing, affiliate marketing, correct? We understood there are multiple marketing platforms which we can rely on to promote the business. And we just got started with search engines. We just got it with search engines. And we learned how search engines function. We learned the crucial parameters that search engines consider in order to rank the websites, right? And we also learned how to optimize the basic things on the websites, correct? That's what we learned up to yesterday's class. Up to yesterday's class, we learned, we include our learning includes the site level SEO as well. We just started with writing the template titles and descriptions. We understood about the schema implementation as well. Correct, guys? Everybody, is it clear for everyone up to here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Right. So our optimization process. See, now we understood showing up on Google in the top is super important. Super important. That is one of the marketing channels. Showing up on search engines is one of the source of lead generation or traffic generation for your website. Social media is another source. You listing your business on marketplaces such as Amazon or Flipkart is another source of sales or leads or traffic or revenue whatsoever. But we got started with search engines, and that's when we understood how search engines work, and we started optimizing our website for search engines, right? We have learned basic on page elements, and we started with site level implementations. And in yesterday's class we have discussed the schema implementation, and I believe all of you know what is schema. And we have learned the template titles and descriptions, correct? Writing template titles and descriptions. And today we are supposed to get started with XML sitemaps. Anybody has any questions up to here? If there are no questions, we'll get started with XML sitemaps and next topics.
Is schema implementation for nothing.
Schema implementation. Okay. 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 So now your website has information. Your web pages has various kinds of information. Correct. So you take any website, there will be different kinds of information. You take this website, it has certain kinds of information. That is, we call this as a product. Let me go to one of the product. This is a product, right? And if you look at this, this has got 123 reviews, and there is an image related to the product. There is a rating for the product, review count and reviews as well, right? And there is the information of in stock or out of stock as well. Correct? You see in stock, out of stock. If it is out of stock, it displays out of stock. So now these details, the search engines doesn't understand the way how we are understanding all of these details. They don't understand 55 as the price of the product. They don't understand 1059 is the price of the product. They don't understand this 123 as the number of reviews, right? So now we have to communicate this in a language that search engines understand, right? And their language is schema code. Their language is schema code, okay? And now you don't have to really learn that language just because search engines love to read your information in that language. You just have to understand what kind of schema has to be implemented, okay? So you have to implement product schema for this website. This is a product, right? And product schema. So if your web page is about recipes, you have to implement a recipe schema. If your web page is about uh, let's say this is a person's page, author, then the author schema will be implemented. This is the home page of the website, and organizational schema will be implemented. There are different kinds of schema, and we understood schema.org. schema schema.org is going to help us to refer different kinds of schemas, their guidelines, and you just have to books schema. In case if this is a book, there will be a different book schema. See, now this is product schema. Let me search book. Right. So any product that you take, you will have this kind of information. Let's say this is Mysore Park, and image of the product, right? The price of the product, in stock, product description, customer reviews. Now this is the information for any product that you take, and that is going to get wrapped in a schema code like this. You see, all this is schema code. So item prop name, it is going to be Mysore Park. Now you don't have to understand how all this works. You just have to tell them this is applicable. You have to whom should you be telling? Your developer, the person who has built your website. You should be telling them, please implement this schema. You can simply send this link to your developer via email and tell them implement this product schema for all the products. And if you're selling books, you'll be telling that implement this book schema for all the books. Done, they will implement it. And on implementing, what happens is now search engines consider this page to be as a content rich web page. So content rich web page is not you adding so much of text like this. See, all this text doesn't make this content rich. Content is information rich. See, if bot is capable of understanding all these details the way how we understand, that's when it treats to be as information rich. And when it treats to be as information rich, the chances of bot coming back to this page will be very high. The bot prioritizing this page to rank will be very high. The crawl frequency of your web page will increase. That is one advantage. And second advantage is, you look at this. See, on Google it's showing the star ratings and 121 reviews. And this is what the schema is what making it to show up on the Google search results. And if you're showing something like this, the chances of people clicking on you will be very high. See, this website is not showing, this is not showing, this is not showing, this is not showing, right? So now this will play a crucial role in improving the CTR. Here there could be some problem of, let's say, crawl frequency. Crawl frequency is an issue. That's why, see, we have to meet all the three parameters of the metrics, right? If you are good at just only one and not good at other metrics, you are not going to succeed, correct? So now this has something good. The CTR is good because of this, but are you really good with the crawl frequency of this web page? You may not be good. And how about the engagement? Engagement also we are not sure. That's the reason. That's the reason this is not ranking in the top. I am assuming mostly for now it's the crawl issue. The crawl frequency is not that great for this website because we never built any kind of backlink. We don't publish any content. Nothing. This is just a website, and we are not doing any kind of activities to improve the crawl frequency. Did you all get that? What is schema? Itishri, you are the one
Yes.
who asked, right? You
Yes,
understood?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, like this, we have to do different implementations on the website to create all kinds of convenience for search engines or the bots to understand more about your website. When they understand better about your website, they'll start visiting your website quite often. That is nothing but improving the crawl frequency of your website or web pages. Second thing is these implementations will also improve the CTR, and some of the implementations might improve the engagement as well. We will discuss them on the go, right? But up to here it's clear, right? Schemas, schema code. If you are implementing schema code, simple on Google it gives a rich snippets, rich results, rich snippets, rich presentation of the information. You see here in stock, price, ratings, now the count of the reviews and the rating, correct? If you had not implemented, it will not show it to you here on the Google. See, for this it's not showing. For this just price is showing. For this it's not showing. For this also it's showing only the price, but there are no reviews, correct? Right? One such implementation is now XML sitemap. This is also an effort to help search engines to understand about your website or easily make them access your website or read your website, right? XML files, XML sitemaps are the XML files which basically contains all the details pertaining to your website's web pages. If your website has 1,000 pages, so you're going to mention all of those pages here on this file, and you will be always saving it as .xml. You will be always saving it as .xml. It's loading, and in this file you can provide list of all the 1,000 URLs pertaining to your website, and you can also tell when is the content changing, the change frequency. It's changing daily or weekly or monthly or yearly. So this can be daily, monthly, weekly, yearly, right? So you are providing information to the bot that my content changes daily. So that's when they will start prioritizing to crawl your web page accordingly. If you're telling that things are changing daily, there are good chance of they visiting daily. And now last modification. So when did the last modified content was last modified is 14th of March. And then priority can be 0.1 to 1.0, and 1 indicates highest priority for this web page and zero point 0.1 indicates lowest priority. We are telling to bots don't don't really take it so seriously. Follow this priority. So for me, 100 pages are very high priority. They are driving lots of business to me and very important, and I'll assign priority of 1.0 to all those 100 pages, and for rest of the 900 pages I will give different priorities. For rest of the pages I'm going to give different priorities, right? See, a bot which is visiting your website, the first thing they do is when they visit this web page, the first thing they do is they try to search for the sitemap. See now, for example, if I'm getting into a restaurant, I'm going there to have this food. The first thing I would try to look into would be probably the place to sit, right? Or maybe I would straight away walk to the counter and I will order, right? Or I will probably look for the menu. That's the see your priority or your requirement or your what is that first thing that you're going to look is going to change based on your requirement, based on your goal. So you have to fill your stomach. So probably your first goal would be not going to the cash counter and asking him how much you collect every day, right? So for which kind of product you get more revenue, we are not going to ask those kinds of things, correct? Are you all following me? Everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you once he makes every day, correct, and how many employees they have, that's none of your business. Your main goal or purpose is to fill your stomach, right? So same way when bot is coming to your websites, the main goal is to understand which are all the web pages there on the website and crawl those web pages, and that's when they decide to straight away go to sitemap, and sitemaps will be usually always saved as sitemap.xml, xml.xml extension. And these sitemaps, and we digital marketers know that bot is by default coming to the sitemaps, and what we do is we make sure that sitemaps has all the information in it. Like the URL, this is the guidelines. You will write first URL set xlmns and something like this, and for every URL I'm telling that I'm going to speak about URL opening tag. For every opening tag there will be a closing tag, and then location I'm telling where is the content, and I'm telling the content is sitting in this location or path, and I have closed the tag. Change frequency, how frequently the content or information changes on this page. It can be daily, weekly, monthly, annually. And last modification, when did I last modify the contents? The date. Priority, you are telling that what kind of priority bot has to consider. See, based on this information, bot decides how to crawl. Yes. Okay. Is it clear for everyone? And now there are some guidelines about this XML sitemap. Your XML sitemap cannot contain more than 50,000 URLs in one sitemap. So what is the solution now? If there are many URLs, so there is a method we call it as parent sitemap or index sitemap, and index sitemap contains lot of child sitemaps in it. We split the sitemap. So website has 1 lakh URLs. We cannot have all of them in one sitemap. So we will split it. Correct? That's what we did here. These are all child sitemaps.
Sir, what type of priority?
What type of?
Priority.
Where are you speaking about the priority here? The order, this order,
XML, XML file. In the URL.
this one, this priority. You are speaking about this priority.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, this
yes,
will
yes.
be in the range of zero point 0.1 to 1.0. So when you say 1, you are indicating to bot or telling to bot or communicating to bot that this web page is of very high priority for my business. And crawling the information on this web page is very high priority. If I put zero point 0.7, zero point 0.6, zero point 0.5, zero point 0.1, the priority is coming down. I am indicating bot, take it light, don't, it's not that important for me, right? But we don't have to tell that also, and hence everything is zero point 0.9. Ideally speaking, it can be just 1.0, but our developer has put zero point 0.9. Okay, but anyways, this is just one of the method practice still. See, back to a decade or even back to 15 years, search engines were giving lots of importance to this XML sitemap to crawl your web pages. Now also they give importance, but not just to crawl, but they use this as a reference file. So they try to map whenever they find any URL, they try to see if that URL is there in the sitemap or not. Or based on the information that you provide here in the sitemap, they try to go and search internet if I can find this URL anywhere on the internet or not. It's like I have given to you an address on the paper, and using that address, you will start searching that address. It's something like this. It's something like that. Okay. So based on the information that I have provided, it's something like that. I have provided you a piece of code, and you will try to match it with some uh, other. So it's something like this. I have given you a key. I have given you a key. There are multiple locks, and you will try for which lock it will fit. Correct? So now this has been taken as a reference, and Googlebot will start searching internet for these files. References, basically, it has to. It's not going to just crawl based on this. They should have links from other websites pointing to these URLs. Okay, bot should have a way to reach these URLs. It cannot really reach are these URLs until unless there is some reference internally they have to be linked, or they have to be linked from external website. Let's say you have dropped the link on Facebook, Flipkart website, you have dropped a link on IRCT's website, they should be able to find this URLs from some other websites or within the website when bot is inside the website. Let's take this. So the bot is visiting this website from the home page, and from this home page, you see there are so many links. Now bot can visit these all pages as well, and bot can visit all these pages as well. If you look at this, bot can visit. See left bottom, you see there are links to different pages. There are links to different pages. Chat GPT certification in USA, ethical hacking certification quota. Left bottom, you see they are all different URLs. See now, bot should bot will be reaching these URLs either internally within the website or from other websites, and this is just a reference. I have list of URLs. So now bot says these URLs are there on the sitemap, but I am unable to find them on the internet. See, if you are providing URLs list, it doesn't mean that bot is going to crawl you. See, if your institute is giving you 10 textbooks, that doesn't mean that you are going to read all of those textbooks, correct? The textbook that they have provided or the number of chapters in each textbook is just, it's a syllabus, it's a guidelines that they have to provide all the textbooks for you to study. Whether you study those web pages, those chapters on the in the book or not is completely dependent on you, correct? Completely dependent on external factors such as time, interest, correct? If you find time to study the complete book, you will be studying. Though the book is with you, are you really studying all the chapters of the book? No. Though you are willing to study, if you did not find time, you will not be able to study. It's something like this. We are providing list of all the URLs to the bot. Bot reads them only with the references. If they find references from external websites or within the websites, that's when bot reads them. Okay. Another guideline is in this sitemaps, you cannot have any URLs. You cannot have any URL that is of wrong status code, HTTP status codes. So now, see, you're all following me, right? Anybody has any questions here? I already told you, right? Priority will be 1.0 to 0 0.1. Priority, highest priority is 1, lowest priority is 0.1. Priority is telling that this is very important URL, crawl this on priority. It's an instruction to bot. All this information is to the bot. Okay. Guys, anybody has any other questions? You understood, right? We are informing to bot this URL is of very high priority for me. Content is changing weekly and content has changed yesterday. 1 indicates highest priority, 0.1 indicates lowest priority. Okay. So now next thing is I told you, you have to make sure that all the URLs in this sitemap should be 200 status code. What is this 200 status code? Anybody knows? Anybody here knows what is this 200 status code? Anybody here knows what is 200 status code?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, so do you have 1 crore rupee in your bank account now? Anybody?
No.
Yeah. So look at this. Your response is no. If it is available, if it is there, you will say yes. Right? So now we are using the words yes, no. And this is English language, correct? So now if you are asking for something to the servers, so now when I'm typing something like this, I'm asking server to send the information to my browser. If I'm typing something like this, I'm sending a request to the server. If I'm typing something like this, I'm sending a request to the server. So server has to send the information back to me, right? So now in this process, server is also trying to communicate to us whether that information is available with it or not. So if I am typing learnandthrive.com slash one of your name, right? So if such file exists on the server, it says it shows a status code 200 200 200. See, even it has got a language instead of yes, no, maybe it uses a different language. It uses numbers to communicate about the availability and non-availability of the information on the server. Correct? So I have typed slash Manjunath and there is no such file sitting on the server. And hence it is communicating through a status code 404. 404 indicates I don't have that content or information on my server. And now if you are typing slash, maybe slash like this, so this will show a status code of 200, but that is not visible. Since it is there, it's straight away displaying the content to you. So there is something that's it has actually sent a status code of 200 from server. So when it says available, what will I say? Give it to me, correct? So browser is telling the same. So now browser has sent a request. From browser we are requesting project management slash PMP certification training industry, training in India, and this is going to the server and server is responding it's available. And even before we see, browser has told if it is available give it to me, and hence it is giving all the content to you here. And now if you have to understand what is the status code of this, we use a tool called HTTP status code checker. So now it's a server's language of telling that something is available, not available, right? So I'm just typing that here. I'll type one more. Okay. So now the first one is available, hence the status code will be 200. The second one, such file doesn't exist on the server. It's not available, not there. It shows 404 and Candra.pro has been redirected to. Let me recheck once again, something went wrong. So Candra.pro has been redirected. I'm asking for Candra.pro. It's something like I'm asking for mango and you're giving me apple. So if I'm asking you apple, is there an apple? You will tell it's not there if it is not there. If it is available, you will give the apple to me, correct? And now I am asking you mango. You are not telling whether mango is there or not, but you are giving me apple. That is redirection, right? So first one, look at this Cantra.pro. I'm asking for this Cantra.pro website, and you are and this website is sending me to Learn and Thrive website. You see here 301 redirect to learnandthrive.com. So 301 indicates redirection and 200 indicates the content or information is available and 404 indicates there is no such file on the server, right? And now there is one more status code. This we call it as HTTP status code. If it is available, you are telling yes. If it is not available, you are using the word no, correct? Correct, right? And now here it is different. It is using the numbers. The server has its own language. The server is sending the HTTP status code. HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol. HTML is hypertext markup language. Hypertext is the file extension or the file type. Such file exist or not exist. Hypertext transfer protocol. It is transferring the information to the browser. Transfer protocol. TP is transfer protocol. HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. The transfer protocol is, if it is available, it's 200 is the transfer protocol. If it is not available, it is sending 404 is the transfer protocol. Okay. If it is redirected to some other page, it is 301. And now there is one more transfer protocol, right? So now I'm asking you to give me an apple or mango or something else. You are not at all responding to me. You are not at all responding to me. You have to speak, right? If it is available, you have to tell available. If you are telling it's available, that's 200. If you're telling it's not available, that's 404. And if you are giving me, I'm asking you for apple, and if you are giving me mango, that is 301 redirect. And you are not doing any of these things, and you are just quiet, you are not at all responding to me, that is 500 server error. And you all must have seen at least once in your lifetime these kinds of errors. 404, the page is not found, and this can be custom made, like it can be designed beautifully or look like different. Sorry, this page doesn't exist, or any text can be shown. Did you all get that, guys? You all understood
Yes.
how your server
Yes.
communicates to your browser or to you, the transfer protocol. The numbers indicate what is the status. 404 indicates there is no such file. I'll type one of your name here, and definitely, so here one of your name. So definitely this file is not there on the server. If you ask for something that's there on the server, it straight away opens up the page. That is, the if it is opening up, the status code is 200. And one of the guideline for your XML sitemaps is have the URLs which contains 200 status code. Do not have any other URL which has status code of 301 or 404 or 500 server errors. It should have only 200 status code status URLs. It means the one that exists. Here, look at this. You cannot have Canra.pro in the sitemap because it's getting redirected to learn and thrive, and you should have only learn and thrive. Okay, that is what the XML sitemap guideline says, right? And you have various kinds of sitemaps. So on your website, it's not just these kinds of pages, right? On your website, there will be videos as well, correct? On your website, there will be images as well, correct? And you can speak to, you can communicate the same. You can put the XML video sitemaps, image sitemaps on your website, news sitemaps, all of them to crawl your website. I mean, they take that as a reference. Okay, they understand. Okay, there is so much about this website. There are 500 images in this website. There are 2,000 web pages on this website and 200 videos on this website. I should be trying to reach those web pages through references. So, don'ts in sitemap, have only valid URLs in the sitemap. Valid URLs are the URLs whose HTTP status code is 200. In case if a URL A is redirected to URL B, a new URL always have the URL B in the sitemap and not the URL A. I hope you all understood this point, and this is all about the sitemap status codes. So if XML sitemap is clear, we'll try to understand HTML sitemap. Is XML sitemap clear for all of you?
Yes.
That is one of the implementation. Again, we are creating convenience for bots to understand list of all the URLs on the website, right? And to implement such sitemaps, we have to understand how XML sitemaps work and their guidelines, correct? And after creating an XML sitemap, here you have the XML sitemap, right? You can go and tell this to bot. You can inform this to bot. How do you inform? Come here, go to your website. This XML sitemap is belonging to a website called Learn and Thrive, right? Go to Learn and Thrive. Yeah, you see sitemaps here. See, search engines easily understood how many web pages. Project management is already there, but still I want to show it to you all. As much convenience as possible for you to communicate everything about your website so that your website will show up on the Google. Correct? Okay, so I believe you all understood.
Sir,
Yeah.
how the browser redirect if we search for Canva.pro,
Okay.
how we redirect to the launch site,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So, so we go. XML sitemap is basically. Oh, sorry. So XML sitemap is basically list of URLs. We are just providing list of URLs as a reference to bots. But HTML sitemap is also list of URLs to the bots. But here the difference is bots will be able to go to the website from the reference you provide. Whereas in the XML sitemap case, you are just providing the information. There is a URL, but that doesn't really make bot to go through those URLs and crawl all of those URLs from the list you provided. XML sitemap doesn't pass energy to the URLs, doesn't make bots to go to that URL by the list you have provided. I'll show you the HTML sitemap as well. HTML sitemaps are just like internal links. You are just dropping in all the links on your website or the web page, and from there bots will navigate. Through XML sitemaps, bots will not navigate to all the pages. They just treat that as a reference. Let me let me do it. Bot is visiting Canva Digital website. A bot which has visited this web page is visiting the destination website from here, correct? What we call this as backlink, correct. Now if you are doing the same within the website, see now you have bot has visited this web page. A bot slowly started reading this web page, and at the end it started seeing about us, contact us, blog, terms and conditions, and and the bot definitely goes at one place, and bot just visits all those URLs from those from that place. In XML sitemap, that doesn't happen. In XML sitemap, it just says, okay, list is there, fine. I took the example, right? Textbook. You have a textbook. That doesn't mean you will be reading all the chapters of the textbook if you have a textbook with you. It's just a reference book for you. You will be reading at your convenience. You might read or you may not read. That is the XML sitemap. And when it comes to HTML sitemap, compulsorily you are instructed to read, go through all the pages. You have to, it's a compulsion. You have to go through and pass the energy. Over there, it was just a reference. XML sitemap is just a reference. Based on that information, bots try to find it on internet. Whereas HTML sitemap, from within the website, it's distributing some amount of energy to the subsequent level of pages. It's something like this. Let me try to find some example. XML sitemap is just like a declaration that I have this many number of URLs to the bots. HTML sitemap is you are not declaring, but you are taking ownership or responsibility of making bot crawl your other pages as well. That's the difference. Did you all get that, guys? An HTML sitemap is list of all the URLs under the anchor tags on the HTML pages, and this will let the bots to pass the crawl energy or link juice whenever they visit that particular page. If they are visiting the home page, if they are visiting this page, and from this page, bot is passing energy to all these pages, to all these pages, to all these pages. An HTML sitemap is list of all the URLs under the anchor tags. You will be writing it under the anchor tags. This is anchor tag only makes it clickable. You all remember the anchor tag ahref equal to, we will put https colon the URL destination and close the anchor tag brackets. So anchor tag will be written like this. So for users, this is the only piece of information of text visible, and this will be made clickable when you put it in the anchor tags. And where should it go when it is an anchor tag? It should lead to this website, the destination website. This is an anchor tag, and this is what you use in linking to any other pages. The click should lead to other page, right? This is what makes in the background. It will have this HTML tag. Your designed and developed by Contra Digital will be wrapped by an anchor tag, and anchor tag holds the information of destination link as well, right? So an HTML sitemap is list of all the URLs under the anchor tags, and now XML sitemap are not under the anchor tags. They are just providing information of when is the content changing on this page, the priority and last modification date. Here there is nothing as such. We are just creating the anchor text. We are making the clickable links. Either the real user can click and go there, or a bot can click and go there. HTML sitemap is an HTML page and not an XML page. XML page acts just as the repository of URLs. XML sitemap acts just like a repository of URLs, and whereas HTML sitemap is a repository for real users or bots as well, and it passes the crawl energy to all the URLs listed on the page. To keep it simple, bot visits all the web pages through the reference HTML sitemap. It's like an internal linking. It's like internal linking. This is also internal linking, your HTML sitemap. So now this concept has gone away. This is replaced with internal linking mesh. I'll still show you if some websites must have implemented it. See, in HTML sitemap also people are dropping in a lot of URLs, but that's of no use if a website has got millions of URLs. Small websites will go with that strategy. If it is a massive website, see this website has 70,000 web pages or 50,000 web pages. We we are creating mini HTML sitemaps. HTML sitemaps are nothing but here the internal links pointing to many other websites. Your HTML sitemap will be same like this only. But if it's a small website, the file contains it will be something like this: html hyphen sitemap dot html is needed, or without dot html, and that will have just only this part. Now think of this: the page doesn't have anything except this. We'll see if we can find URL. You see HTML